take the first part of my little presentation to thank the judges we have here sitting in the front row. We have Jeff Dixon from the Victoria Airport Authority. We have Danielle Kiewelek from Silk Road Tea. Dr. Tila, he's an independent financial professional. Ralph Heeneman from the University of Victoria's International Business and Economics Department. And Dr. Knudsen from Royal Road University. Competitors, we have 20 minutes for your presentation, followed by a 5-minute Q&A. We have our volunteer timekeeper sitting up front there, who will hold up cards telling you how much time is left in your presentation, and end the presentation and Q&A session when the allotted time is over. Audience, firstly, I know the chairs you're sitting in are finding to move around in and slightly comfortable, but they are really noisy, and it is distracting for the competitors at the front, so please try to sit as still as you can. No questions, comments, cell phones, no picture taking is permitted during the presentation or the Q&A session. You're not allowed to applaud until the Q&A session is over, and when you exit, please leave quietly and clear the hallway outside as quietly and quickly as you can. You are banned from wearing any material representing any of the universities competing, and we ask, please be quiet and no cell phone taking it again. And competitors, when you're ready.
Good morning, distinguished judges, ladies and gentlemen of the audience. My name is Linda, and I'm here with Emily and Kate, and together we make up Trackgeeks Consulting. Today we have the distinct pleasure of being with you during this class, not to deal with a threat or a problem facing your company, but in order to help you take advantage of an opportunity. And we plan on doing just that. Our objective today is to help you successfully enter the B2C market while continuing to make sure that you avoid service inconsistencies, continuing to satisfy your B2B clients, and to remain differentiated in a competitive environment. Now we pass on to Emily, who's going to take you through what our recommendation is going to do to you.
So we started by gathering a few of the gaps that our recommendation will offer to your company. First one of these 5 is will expand your customer base. Secondly, you'll be able to maintain your high service level that you currently have, and you'll have 27 million in revenues in the first 5 years with this implementation. Also, maintaining your B2B relationships that you've worked so hard to create, and you'll be able to maintain your brand positioning as well. We started by analyzing Porter's 5 forces to better find out where you situate yourself in the market and how to best go about accessing the B2C market. We start with the power of suppliers. This has a moderate power since there are multiple companies looking to partner with lounges such as the ones that you have partners with yourself. In terms of power of buyers, this is fairly high because buyers have many options when they're at airports looking which lounge to go to. Thirdly, barriers to entry in this market are high because there's a need to build multiple relationships with these lounges and companies, which you have already been able to do. And lastly, the power of substitutes is low because there are many substitutes such as airport seating and food courts and such, but these aren't quite on par with the level of service that you provide to your clients.
Okay, so we looked at a few of your core competencies that are important to our recommendation. So we started out with a low customer complaint rate. So you guys have a very low customer complaint rate, which is one of your key strengths. You're culturally aware. You're already open in almost all continents, so you are already quite aware of how to do international business. You have strong existing partnerships with airlines and with other lounge services, and these partnerships have been working well for you so far. You have a consistent service experience. Your customers don't complain because when they go to all these different lounges, even though sometimes they're under different airlines, they are still receiving the same strong experience. And then you have strong communication with your customers. You already have an app, you have an online presence. So these are some of your core competencies that we're going to be leveraging in our recommendation. So we started out by positioning you because we think that your position is something that we really want to maintain. So we looked at the level of prestige of these airport lounges and then the level of convenience. So convenience, we looked at the number of locations as well as your ability to access things like an app or an online service to book these lounges. So we saw you as having 3 main competitors. So one was the airline lounges, being a bit lower prestige, and then your biggest competitor being Priority Pass. But we thought that you were a bit more high prestige than them, and that you were a little bit more convenient, that you already were set up with the app, and had a few different offerings than they did. So we also then looked at consumer profiles, because you guys are interested in going into the business to consumer, so we were looking at who could be your potential customer. So first we saw corporate travelers. So you are already selling to. They're established corporations, they're frequent travelers, they have their companies paying for their airline travels. So this is a business that you already are very successful in. Second, we looked at families, so you would be focusing more on affluent families who are interested in these lounge experience. They might have young children, be going on family vacations, but these vacations wouldn't be super frequent. It would be something that only occurred maybe 3-4 times a year. Finally, we looked at small and medium business professionals. So these would be individuals who were not large enough to warrant having a whole corporate relationship with you, but there's still people who might be interested in using your lounge just on a personal basis. So I'm going to pass it on to Emily to talk about a few different alternatives that we came up with.
So after our analysis, we came up with 3 different alternatives for you in order to enter the B2C market. The first being create a new affordable product offering. So this would be implementing a bit of a completely different strategy in terms of product and service. This one would be ideally targeted towards the families, as Kate mentioned. And secondly, we have the alternative of remaining focused solely on your B2B2C market, such as you're currently doing. So this would essentially be business as usual, maintaining your current relationships that you have, and continuing to expand that client base. Thirdly, we have targeting the B2C market in order to expand the B2B market. So this is essentially leveraging the qualities that you've developed with your B2B clients and using the B2C market to expand that. So in order to make a decision as to which alternative we recommend, we sorted some decision criteria that we feel are important to your business. So essentially, one with the model of Maslow's hierarchy of needs, in the sense that the criteria at the bottom must be achieved before you can reach levels at the top. So expanding your customer base is something that is important, and we feel that after you achieve this, you'll be able to continue to deliver the prestige and consistent service to all these clients you have expanded to. And then thirdly, with the delivery of these services, you'll be able to create and maintain more and more long-term relationships, which is something we know is very important to you, and the lifetime value of your clients. And with all these in mind, you'll be able to achieve long-term growth after having satisfied all of these criteria. So in order to score these choices, we rank them in terms of how well we feel they would achieve the goals that we previously mentioned. So as you can see, the third option, which is leveraging your strengths in the B2B market in order to attack the B2C market, came out with the highest score as 4.5.
So you know what we're recommending, but now you're wondering how you're going to do it. So we're going to take you through first our recommendation and then our implementation. We're targeting the 4 main items that you looked at when providing this information. We're going to look at your sales model, your target customers, your product, and your customer service in order to round out our recommendation. So in the sales model, we recommend a direct sales offering a round-trip trial, which will include incentives for signing up for a long-term membership. The goal of this is to get individuals who are interested in your lounge to try it. And not just try it one way, but try it on the way there and on the way back, so they can see that you offer consistent service across all your locations. We'll be starting this in the London and China airports, mainly because we have a full-time office set up in both those areas. You're fully aware of the cultures and the business structure. So this is really going to take advantage of that knowledge you already have in order to make this as low risk as possible while expanding into this new market. You're going to target your traveling professionals. Now we want to make sure this is clear. These are not the individuals that you already target. These are individuals in smaller businesses who aren't working through their corporation to find this membership. They're individually in the airport looking for an enhanced experience. So these customers are seeking the prestige experience. They travel a lot. They're tired of it. This isn't something they want to endure anymore. It's something they want to enjoy. And this is what your service is going to offer them. Now, again, we mentioned the round-trip trial. This is to get them not only there once, but there twice, and see what you have to offer in both senses. Now, we're also looking to introduce a new client pass with unlimited lounge access. This is for those high travelers. This is going to be a bit pricier than some of the other options on the market, but this is going to help you reinforce your prestige model. This is an opportunity to gain a bit more of a profit off of these customers than your business-to-business customers, because you do offer them a bit of a discount for the scope that they purchase. Now, customer service is very important to your business, and it's a key idea, and it's a key thing that you do well. And so this is obviously important to keep in mind. That's why we want to have hands-on sales staff, and we plan on implementing those in both China and the London area. These staff are going to be directly involved with your new customers. They're going to learn and grow with them, and they're going to be able to provide that excellent level of service that your brand is known for. These sales staff are also going to be able to follow up with customers who might be interested in the long-term memberships or whose business might be interested in joining your business-to-business proposition. And so this is how we're going to gain the most value from this customer base. Now, we have broken down this implementation into short, medium, and long term. In the short term, you need to start your business-to-business in England and in China. You need to make the required staffing, pricing, and promotion changes to your business plan. In the medium term, we want to continue to expand that business-to-customer operations in North America. We want to focus on converting select business-to-customer relationships into business-to-business relationships. So these are those small and medium business customers who are interested in the service and whose business is growing as well. And so these are the people you're going to want to target and see if they're interested in creating a corporate membership. Because you are already doing this business-to-business implementation well, we don't want to completely ignore that. We want to take advantage of that. And then in the long term, you're going to continue to both expand your business-to-consumer operations and continue to create new partnerships and expand lounges to offer more services to all your clients. Now, Kate's going to take you through the breakdown of our implementation.
Thanks. So we broke down our program implementation into staff changes, pricing changes, and promotion changes. So to start off with staff changes, we like the staff changes that you guys were already considering implementing. So your company had talked about moving to employees from marketing to business to consumer business. We think that's a great idea. Your company had talked about appointing an existing engineer as a product manager. We also think that's a great idea, and we also agree with recruiting a demo team. However, to add to that, we would like to hire 8 sales team employees for England, for the England and China area. So the focus of these sales employees would be to be working in the airports at your lounges. They would be focusing on bringing in customers, on explaining your business to them, and on selling them into your guys' annual pass offering. So they would be promoting the trials, they would be in the airports working with your joint ventures. So then for our pricing and promotion changes, so Linda talked about our pricing just in a bit more specific. So we wanted to offer a trial round trip. So this way, customers coming into the airport would see your guys' lounge, go in and visit, and be able to purchase a $100 round trip pass. So this would allow them to access a lounge in either London or one of your airports in China that we have your representatives at, and then also access a lounge in another country that they are traveling to. This way they would be able to see that you are offering a consistent service, and they'd be able to see 2 of your company's airports. Then we would focus on pricing them on an annual pass that would be $500. This is a little bit higher than your competition, which is about $400, but we believe that this helps position you as a prestige offering in the market, and we also believe that it allows you to take a bit of an advantage as you're not offering the same discount pricing that you offer to your business-to-business clients. Then for promotion, we would want to have in-airport promotion, because some of these are very large airports, so travelers wouldn't necessarily walk by your lounge. This way they are able to see advertisements for your lounge in their airport, and as they're traveling are able to consider the option of going to your lounge. We would also work on expanding the partnerships with your pre-existing partners like Air China and work with them to advertise directly to first-class customers. So this would be through things like if they had purchased a ticket, you would then email them information about your lounge and then offer it. So this would be a partnership with Air China. So we had a quick budget for the staffing and promotion changes. So the data staff, we're looking at hiring about 4 data staff. That's just to collect data on the business-to-consumer markets that you guys can take advantage of data that you have. And then sales staff, we're looking at hiring 8 sales staff to start to work in your company's 2 countries, England and China. And then promotion was the airport advertisement and then the partnership with Air China that I just outlined. And so I know at the beginning we gave you a projected revenue of $27 million in year 5. So I just wanted to explain a little bit about how we came to this number. So we were looking at having 15,000 trials by the second year. So in that second year, you get 15,000 trials. We thought that about 40% of those trials could turn into yearly subscriptions, so that's where we get the 6,000 subscriptions. And then that about 20% of those new business-to-business customers, or those business-to-consumer customers, could then become business-to-business customers. So they would go back, they might be part of medium or small-sized businesses that aren't looking at having a corporate relation with you, but instead they might go back to their business and talk to a few other employees who travel a lot and be able to start a business-to-business relationship with you. So then we thought these business-to-business relationships would then get to take advantage of the discount pricing that you offer your corporate relations. So we priced those at $400 for their memberships. Then for year 5, we thought that by year 5 you'd be able to get your subscriptions up to 30,000 subscriptions, and then would have 24,000 new business-to-business customers. So that's where our 27 million in year 5 comes from. Talk to Linda for some risks.
So every new idea has inherent risks, and this idea is no different. But we believe that we can help you mitigate those risks to best take advantage of the situation. A major risk we identified is that the business-to-consumer customers go beyond capacity to come. Right now, you're looking at 100 or so relationships, maybe 200 relationships with your business-to-business customers. And you maintain those relationships really well because you build them and they're strong and you have a level of trust. However, in the business-to-consumer relationship, as Kate alluded to, we're looking at memberships in the thousands. That is a lot more memberships than you have right now. And so one of the risks is that you may not be able to provide the same level of service to every single one of these members as you provide to your business-to-business members. As a mitigation to this, we recommend the proactive hiring of staff in order to deal with this influx. We don't want to react to this, we want to be proactive to this, because a huge part of your company is your customer service and your loyalty. And so if this is something that we're unable to keep up with, then you might lose customers, you might lose a bit of that reputation. Now, another risk you might face is sort of a growth on this one, and it's the being unable to deliver a high level of service to all customers. Now, we think this might happen if you have too many customers. And as well, we think there is also issues in some of the other lounges with too many individuals being in the lounges and not as many prestige individuals being in those lounges. And so what we want to really make sure is that you're finding the right client base, the one that matches your strategy, the one that has the same values as you, as high customer service and as prestige products. And so, again, your marketing team, is going to be very focused on screening these potential clients to ensure the prestige with the target market fit. Now, this might include an increase in prices if you find your demand getting too high. Now, on the completely other side of that coin is the business-to-consumer customer base is not large enough. And this is a risk because this is something we don't have a lot of experience in. You did project quite high numbers of customer relationships, and you do have a good plan in place. But again, we don't have experience, and so we're not sure if this customer base is going to respond to your offer. And so this is why we really think it's important to launch this target in both England and China to begin with, so you can truly assess the feasibility of this option. So not only that, but it's also important to remain focused on your B2B relationships, because this is what you know, this is what you're good at, and this is what you really thrive in. So that's why we proposed the joint focus on business to consumers and business to business, so that you don't find yourselves 2 years down the road with not as many business to consumer customers as you expected, unable to provide that level of service, so you still fall back on those business to business relationships. As we said, our recommendation is going to provide your company with multiple things. We're going to expand your customer base. We're going to expand your brand awareness. This includes your prestige awareness. Your name is going to be synonymous with perfect and prestige airport travel. We predict an increase in revenues of $27 million in 5 years. We also think that with our strategy, you will be able to maintain your business-to-business relationships. Finally, we'd like to show that our strategy is going to benefit you in all areas of your company. Your customers are going to maintain that high level in service and prestige product. And you're going to only continue to increase your prestige as you continue to expand and continue to deliver that excellent service. Your internal processes are going to become not only larger, but more efficient as you grow with the business-to-consumer market. You're going to increase your ability to build relationships, not just with large companies, but with individuals. Financials, as we said, we predict $5 million in increased revenue revenue in year 1 and 27 million increased revenue in year 5. And of course, your staff is going to learn to accommodate this business-to-consumer market. And they're also going to learn more about marketing and sales. And of course, the human capital of your entire business is going to increase as you take on new hires and learn new business. So I'd like to thank you today, and now open the floor to questions.
Thank you. That concludes the presentation. Judges, you now have 5 minutes for Q&A.
Thank you. Did you consider growing your B2C directly out of your B2B? In other words, you have X million B2B customers, successful, happy. Why not just extend the family plan, as it were, to your existing customers for a small place as a test run?
So I think our thought on that was more that your business-to-business clients were people traveling on business trips. So they weren't traveling with their families or necessarily with their friends. They were traveling with their business. They were already set up with a pass. So that's why we thought about focusing on other people traveling on business trips, but not necessarily for large companies or who aren't already set up with your company. So that's kind of it.
In order to add to that, families travel less frequently than business employees, and that's why we, again, targeted those small and medium-sized businesses. Because the travel is more increased, you're more likely to get those yearly subscriptions, and families don't travel as often, so you wouldn't be able to take full advantage of that customer base.
Where would be your next markets once you, where would you recommend that we go next once you've tested the United Kingdom and China?
We recommend a proactive approach in the United States. Currently, you do have a base in the United States, but not a large one. We recommend once you've gained knowledge and experience with both UK and China, and of course, since the US culture really parallels the United Kingdom culture, you'll be able to leverage that as you set up operations in the United States.
I'm not sure I understood your $500 a year fee, exactly what that buys you or doesn't buy you. It's a single person, as many trips to lounges as you wish, for free or for the standard daily, and as you have currently with your B2B customers, they get in for a discount, but they don't get in for free. Is this $500 get you the discount, or does it get you the airline's frequent flyer type deal, which is you get in for free?
No, it was to get in for free. It was, you paid the $500 fee, which was similar to what competitors were offering individual consumers. They were offering it a little bit cheaper, about $400. So it was $500 to get in unlimited access to the lounges.
Follow up? Oh, go ahead.
You're talking about an organic growth strategy, and we know that Dragon Pass is very successful and popular in its current segment. What do you think about acquisitions going international, buying competitors? Would that be an idea? Or?
Absolutely, that's something we can look at in the future. We believe that since you have such a great business now, that expanding that first into business and consumer, really developing your skills and competencies there, and then as you expand internationally, perhaps into the United States, yes, looking at acquisitions is something, but we think right now focusing on your core competencies is where you're really going to see major growth.
Well, let me follow up then, because my impression is, on this business of a $500 with as many free entries as you like, the people who offer that as a competitor are the credit cards and the airlines, and they both have a different payoff to that. They can say to the lounges, it doesn't matter that our people don't pay anything walking in. We will pay you because by keeping them loyal, we get a payoff outside. You as an independent company don't get any of that payoff. So what are you going to negotiate with the lounges of the $500? And what if anything, are they going to leave you, given that they have to cover all of their costs, the rent and the staffing and the food and beverages and all those things that are part of running a lounge? That's not on your costs at all. So they're going to expect compensation for that. What makes you think you can do it for $500, remembering that the airlines and the credit cards aren't doing that?
So I think we came up with the $500 comparing it to that main competitor, I should remember their name, it was your main competitor, they were charging $400 for that annual fee, so that's kind of where we came up with the $500. And then I think the thought would be that we would focus a lot on the partnerships that you already have. You already have quite strong partnerships with several airlines, with several lounge offerings, so kind of working on the similar structure that you already have to kind of split the profits from these new customers. We didn't come up with exact way of that how we split, but it's something we could look into more.
And that's the end. Thank you.